So if we think about every single word as having the potential of a life affirming, life sustaining impact, and we're putting the breath of life out into the energetic space that is the power of word to create world. And we're breathing and we're choosing, and we're actually having the words we choose be relational and in be the movement. And we actually see ourselves in an energetic embodied communication. Like just like the images of art can transform, and the poetry of words like move us. Like when we choose, when we just come from like a really spacious, deep listening of, wow, what words in this canvas of space that we have are artful expression of possibility, and like breathing and not having. So I just want you to know that I do not want you, and I know I'm starting to realize that this may be, as I'm looking at Hootsuite and whatever, like maybe what you might have unconsciously internalized from strategy that were my expectations. I do not want you ever to be rushing to get as much scheduled, but rather be in that artful, like poetic space of pause and like, what? And you naturally, what's crazy is even with speed, you have this sensual capacity to bring words together. But if you are doing it while holding your breath to get as much done, and you're being that generative, like I can imagine that this is killing you.
Yeah.
So like that, and
you.
this
That's
is
all very on point and insightful.
And so I want you to know, with our stuff, that's what matters most to me, and the intent behind anything that we're putting up, and just this pause to reflect. Like one might think, Shauna, are you crazy that we're taking the time to go back and edit because we say support the work of this person? But notice, like, this is all that reflective. We are in co-construction of a movement. And we're in this opportunity in these early phases to have the foundations that'll be here long beyond us, like have the potential for as others engage with our words, like to be enlivening, because we have put life into them, and we're like in this savory like reflection, like this is the movement, like we so I just want to say that and give you permission for that and ask you, and
Thank you. If I could hold that every day, I definitely might have a different experience of it.
Maybe you can at least give it's not only permission, it's I don't even like the word expectation, but anyway, permission, hope, in the energy of engaging with RLI, but also imagine like with soul vibrance, like wow, given what, like vibrance, vitality, how does every exchange online be infused with vibrance? And if it's not there energetically when you press send or you press save, and getting in the practice of being in that space before you save, before you send. And I do that. I mean, I don't send any quote unquote strategic email without having that. And then that ends up and it could take me a really long time to send the email that resulted in this interview with Sally. And now all of a sudden
like you always say, like slower. Right? Or what do you say?
It's that less is more, slower is faster. But slower is slower. There's almost something like slower has the capacity to be infinite.
Yeah.
So I just want to offer that.
Definitely. Thank you.
Each time we press send, be present. Like I, together with this leadership voice, have just amplified the possibility in the world. It's a sacred act. It is movement building. This is movement in action. So our embodied presence, being the energy of the change, really matters as we put this out with intent.